wavy beard.
90s to a T.
Yeah.
I said champagne, I will call it champagne.
Oh, no, we've got so many good episodes to watch.
Oh, wait, I'm getting it. Nope, changed my mind. Boo.
This is funny until you have it.
No, but seriously, wave after wave of men.
That in the future there's an owl problem.
Sorry, but like, his name's huge ass.
Not
So
huge.
do you listen to our podcast?
I'm sorry. Blue whales on the moon.
We carry a harpoon. God damn, I hate that we said that.
Shut up and take my podcast.
Oh, I'm woken up.
Yes, good.
I was actually sleeping, so thanks for that.
That's all right. Happy to help.
How is everyone today?
Good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not a real
Wait,
answer,
I'm feeling
but-
something wrong here. Like, talk to us. What's the matter, buddy?
I'm just so saddened by how bad movies are. From the 20 minutes of discussion we just had. Bummed me out.
some good movies
No,
out
I'm
there.
good. I'm good. Thank you. Thank
What
you.
is like, just very quickly, because we're on the topic of Futurama. Oh, by the way, just very quickly, welcome to Shut Up and Take My Podcast, that Futurama podcast that, oh God, I had one and I forgot it. Okay, let's go with this one. The Futurama podcast that lets you know that if at first you don't succeed, fry again.
Nice.
I prefer. What was the one a couple of weeks ago that just came out?
Milk it for all it's Farnsworth.
Yeah. That's the top.
That's the pedestal.
You started really high.
And I've just sunk lower ever since.
Fry again. Who are you?
I am Sean, and I'm joined here by Phil.
Hello.
And James.
Hey.
And so let's circle back. Just very quickly, because this is a sci-fi podcast, has there been any good sci-fi films this year? I was thinking
so
about this.
there was the Passengers had potential, but it was bad.
I've heard it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. The concept is very good, and if they'd rearranged the movie a bit, it would have been better. Would have been much better. So if you just start with Jennifer Lawrence popping out of a pod and she doesn't know why, and she doesn't trust Chris Pratt, you find out all the stuff about what he did later. Good movie. As it is, there's no mystery, no suspense, and it's no chemistry.
Feels like there's a lot less trust.
Take on
There's a lot less trust in Pratt nowadays. It's like very much
not his fault, I think.
Pratt is Pratt now. Pratt does Pratt, and
He's a Pratt.
he is a Pratt.
Yeah. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Another Pratt film. We are
Yeah.
very Pratt heavy this year.
Slightly fantasy, those films, but sci-fi
sci-fi.
overall,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
What do you determine as sci-fi? What is science fiction?
There's hard sci-fi and what's sometimes called high fantasy. Hard sci-fi is like The Martian, scientific and
Potentially accurate.
potentially accurate. Like Interstellar falls in that category, and then you have high fantasy, which is
Lightsabers.
fantasy with it's Star Wars. It's fantasy with space paint.
And where do we fit Futurama into this? Hard?
It's hardish sci-fi.
Hard? Accurate? Faithful representation of 1,000 years in the future?
Fantasy, because it's not. It hasn't got wizards and stuff. Space wizards.
Oh, see, here's the thing is that
It's really hard to categorize.
I'm really not concerned. I'm intrigued as to where Futurama's going to go in that second run, because I feel like we say there's no wizards. For some reason, I'm like, there's going to be a wizard.
There's
in
gotta
the
be a
second.
space wizard.
There's going to be the Hanukkah zombie and
Yeah, because it's sci-fi parody. It crosses all of those lines, right?
So we are looking at season 3, episode 4, The Luck of the Fryrish. So last week I said Fryish.
Yeah, but it's
I'm wrong, but I can be vindicated because a lot of TV stations and I think one of the DVDs maybe calls it Fryish as well. So
I
I'm
would
not
have called
the
it
only one.
Fryish, so...
Fryish.
Yeah, I mean that pun doesn't make sense if you say it like that. So I'm not really sure where that confusion comes from. But yeah, Fryrish.
Yeah, Fryrish.
So we got the director, which is Chris Loudon. Yeah, that was a very boom slappy. Sorry, buddy. The Chris Loudon is our director, and he's back from Anthology of Interest. Here's your little tidbit. He was the assistant editor for Any Given Sunday.
Really?
Yeah. So the
assistant editor.
Is that
assistant-
the Al Pacino?
the riveting speech in the
Yes.
locker room.
That's a good speech.
Yeah, he helped edit that.
Really?
He was assistant to the editor while that was being edited.
What do you do if you're an assistant editor? You're just like, yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I take over now?
No.
You
Can I do
focus on the
Can I
colour
use the
grading.
tracking wheel?
Yeah. No. Go get me coffee.
Yeah, I was going to say it's just like a runner,
Yeah,
basically in the
basically,
editing
probably.
room.
What is a best boy?
Yeah, I've always wanted
best
this.
boy. Shit. I feel like there's like...
Come on, film man.
Oh my god, best boy.
Everybody wants to know what a best boy is.
If I remember right, the best boy has something to do with lighting, as in like...
They just carry the lighting rig around.
No, I feel like your DP is...
Director of photography.
Yeah, your director of photography talks to his best boy, and the best boy manages the setting up of lights, and that's with the
So
gaffer
DP's
as
like,
well.
go make this happen. And the best boy is like, okay.
I think to be fair, I've not heard no one say best boy in an Australian film.
Best mate?
Best mate.
Best mate. Just like an honorary title for someone on set that they don't know what
I think
he's
it's
there
a real
for.
thing. Yeah, I think it's a real thing though.
And it's just like, you can be
the best
you're just the best boy. You're the best boy.
I'm a girl.
We got a new writer.
Brand new writer.
Ron Weiner. Weiner.
Come on.
He's looking
Come on,
up best
James.
boy. It's all good.
It's they work with the gaffer. There's like a best boy electric and best boy for like they basically assist the gaffer.
What's the gaffer?
Like a gaffer is like responsible for like if a DP is like, I want a 2K light over there and I want some.
So the gaffer just gets stuff done.
Get stuff done.
When I was a lot younger, I always thought the gaffer was just the person responsible for gaffer taping stuff down.
That's the only role
That's
he
the
does.
only thing you're allowed to
Allowed
do.
to do,
So
yeah.
these are all roles that an animation show would not need.
No.
No.
Best boy in Futurama.
Yeah.
Lots of roles you wouldn't need.
So based on your assessment, then the Chris Loudon was the assistant best boy editor. Was the best boy editor.
He was the best boy in the room.
the best editor in the room. So Ron Weiner, he's a writer that came on for this episode. He also ends up being a writer for Silicon Valley, 30 Rock, and Arrested
Easily
Development.
confused. That's cool. Yeah,
Can we
yeah,
have a crossover? 30
Arrested
Rock and 30
Third Rock and 30 Rock.
Surely, come
30
on.
Rock from the Sun.
30 Rock from the... Oh my
Please
God.
make it
John Lithgow and Alan...
What's John Lithgow doing these days?
John Lithgow.
he die
Also, I had a
recently?
blank on Baldwin. No, Lithgow's alive. He recently turned up. You know what he did?
Dead.
Dead recently.
He's alive. He recently turned up dead. Wait a minute.
Oh, hang on.
What's the Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell stepdad?
Yeah, he's the dad.
He's the dad.
Yeah,
he is Will Ferrell's dad.
Yeah, and they're like mouth kiss.
Yeah,
in
they
the
mouth.
trailer.
Yeah. So so Mark Wahlberg's dad is Mel Gibson, and Will Ferrell's dad is John Lithgow, and they're waiting at the airport, and both the dads come down, and Mark Wahlberg and Mel are very like butchy kind of. Yep, good. How you doing? Oh, you're doing stuff with your life, and then John Lithgow.
Are they Australian? Because you went really
Mel
Aussie.
Gibson is, and Lithgow and
Will Ferrell, yeah.
run into each other's arms and kiss on the mouth, and it's
Very touchy-feely.
Yeah, and then Mark Wahlberg's like, oh, they haven't seen each other in a long time, and it's like, it's been a week, and then like,
could be good.
no.
I hold faith that Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
will
you're
make-
depressing me again, guys. Can we talk about
Hang on,
Futurama,
bro.
please?
So the air date March 11, 2001, introducing the entire fucking Fry family.
Yeah, Fry Mum, Fry Dad, and
Fry Bro.
Fry
Yance.
Tuck.
Fry Tuck.
Fry
They're all there.
and
Yancey.
Fry Bro wife. And
also
Fry nephew.
Fry Nephew, Philip J. Fry.
Philip J. Fry.
Yeah.
Do we want to skedaddle onto the plot?
The crew are at the races to win some money. Fry keeps losing over and over and over again, and he gets really upset that he's got no luck. So he goes to recover his...
Foreshadowing.
He goes to recover his 7-leaf clover that he found when he was a boy that helped him be really lucky because he hopes it's still in his vault, his Ronco record vault in his old house, but it's not there because he believes his brother stole it, so they go to recover it from his brother's grave.
Worst name for a kid as well, by the way. Yancey.
Yancey.
Yancey is awful. I wonder how many people were called Yancey after this episode aired.
No one. So Emma 4? No.
What do we think, guys?
I think this is like a really stupid but really fun and really sweet episode.
Oh, I love this episode.
I love it, but like all the gags are so stupid. like when Bender's sneaking into like the horse race, but behind the scenes,
The stables.
He's dressed in the shittest horse outfit, and it's just so stupid.
the best he could do with the time he had.
It's fantastic,
And it has no effect as well.
No.
Because the jockey walks in and
jockey
says, "What are
just
you
sees
doing?"
him straight away. That's why everything is so stupid, but it's so great.
Yeah,
I love
it's got good character development. This episode.
great.
It's really Fry centric in its character development. That's really good. I don't know. I just really love Fry. I think he's sweet and lovely.
It did it. It made me cry.
Oh,
It was pretty emotional at the end.
I get tingly at the end. I do really get tingly at the end.
It's the moment that Yancey holds that fucking baby and he just says, "You're named after my little brother who I miss every day." And I was like,
You know, like when I was younger and I used to watch that, I didn't really care. I mean, if I have a brother and maybe back then, I didn't really care as much.
Today we learn that James is dead inside.
Yeah, but like these days, I think I'm just I'm more emotional. I've gone past my my teenage hate everyone phase, and now I'm just like
Developed real feelings.
yeah. Now I'm a human being with emotions.
But you still hate your brother, or
no, it's fine. It's an emotional time, you know.
I mean, I had older brothers as well, who were a bit mean. I have 3 brothers. I
Oh.
have 2 older brothers and 1 younger
I
brother.
assume you were an only child. I don't know
I
why.
thought so too.
Wrong.
You give off that
Wrong.
vibe.
I didn't even know you had
thanks,
parents. I thought
guess.
you were just Phil.
You just exist.
No, not so. So I have older brothers who are a bit mean to me. So I guess that resonates with me. His struggles with his brother. I mean, I don't think they stole everything from me.
Oh.
Yancey steals everything,
Yeah.
literally everything from him.
The Yancey-Fry relationship is just, it makes me automatically harken back to my times as a kid where brothers would be mean to me and I'd go to, because my mum would be out at the time, so I'd go to call her to be like, my brothers are being mean. On the dial-up phone, on the phone in the wall.
the rotary phone.
And my brother would let me dial a couple of numbers and then hang up the phone. They're like 4 and 8 years older than me, or would like lock me in my room and wouldn't let me out. They were so mean.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they don't love you, as this episode shows.
They don't.
They might name their son after you.
No one wants to do that.
Just disappear. You disappear off the face of the earth. And,
Yes,
and then when they have a kid, come back. And if the kid's not named after you, disown them.
Like,
that is it.
retroactively disown
Yeah, it's
them.
like, look, I disappeared for 10 years and I come back to this.
Also, they preempt Siri.
They do a bit with Farnsworth's computer.
Yeah.
And how inaccurately it can be. Like, it also changed my calendar to Friday and ordered me some French fries.
Yes.
If I'm wrong about this, but doesn't he say like, as I didn't realize that you were related to that Philip J. Fry. Farnsworth, you are too. Yeah. Like, are you forgetting this whole thing? You're related to each other.
You're a part of that family.
That means your great grandfather went to the Mars. Like
Went to the Mars.
went to the Mars.
Went to the Mars.
I'm just gonna call
If
him-
this Fry also is so famous, why has it never
come up?
before? Like, he's
'cause
super
Hermes-
famous.
Hermes straight away was like, oh, you're that one.
Yes.
What? I've never thought of this before. You're so right. Down to the middle name.
Yes.
but going to the, I feel like going
the
to Mars.
first person on Mars. Super
Also,
famous.
You look like him.
Yes.
It's been 1,000 years, guys. Like
No,
He's
you
in,
should know.
he's in the like Earth Heroes section
okay.
of the orbital cemetery.
The one
I'll give it
orbiting
that.
cemetery.
Yeah. The closest you'll get to heaven.
I really hope. Like, I was looking at that going, that should be a thing. Like, once we
Space
run out of
graves?
space graves.
That's terrible.
Space
An
graves.
orbiting space grave, like a massive dome that has Shaq's leg.
It does, yes.
Where is Shaq's body? What happened to Shaq?
I don't know. Like, is Shaq's,
Why wasn't he buried together?
is Shaq's leg like?
Is there anything specifically
special?
funny about
I feel like
Shaq's
Well, he's
one
7
leg?
foot something, so he's just a massive dude.
So that
Yeah.
that one leg would take up a regular casket.
Yes.
Yeah,
So it's all,
basically.
he's buried in different coffins.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
each
like
one
different
for
pieces,
a bit.
yeah.
So it's like the Dragon Balls. Like, if you collect all of Shaq together, you get a wish.
Maybe.
Is Shaq's head in any of the episode?
Oh.
Maybe. But that's weird to have the leg. Like if he was like a football, if he was like a football star who kicked the ball to win a winning
Yeah,
game,
sure.
makes
Yeah.
sense. But he's a basketball guy. Why the leg?
And he's also a rapper.
Yeah, and a movie star.
So rap is Shaq's mouth.
Yeah, Shaq's lips.
But why not like Michael Jordan's leg? Wouldn't that be worth a bit more?
The lucky leg.
The lucky leg.
Also, like, I get the reference, but it's so weird. Like, John Larroquette's spine.
Who is John
I don't
Larroquette?
get the reference.
He's an
Help us
actor.
out.
He showed up most recently on The Librarians, which is a TV show that was based on a direct-to-TV movie called The Librarian, which had Noah Weil, who's from
That's
ER.
not the one that is the librarian. The one I'm thinking. Oh no, I'm thinking.
You're really
of,
not helping me.
The Indiana Jones knockoff.
Yeah, is
yeah,
that
yeah.
it?
They
Oh
made
my
it
God.
into a TNT TV series
No.
called The Librarians.
Of
So,
course.
but he was also in Boston Legal.
Who's he in Boston Legal?
I don't know.
Okay. It really does not hold up that reference.
No, I was like, I get it, but you're aging a
Was
bit.
he really popular back then?
Maybe? Well, that was around the time Boston League was around, surely. Or, but no, Boston League was more 2004. I digress. But
There's a couple of dated references in there. I think there's one other one, but I couldn't remember it because it was dated. It didn't stick out.
it also speaks to my knowledge of Play-Doh when I'm sitting there going,
Dodo.
is Play-Doh explosive? Was that a thing?
No.
Like, was there like an incident like similar to the Samsung phones that just exploded out of nowhere?
just
Like,
set
was
Play-Doh
there
on
one
fire.
reference where someone exploded Play-Doh? Probably not.
Just a little good C4 gag, basically.
C4.
I think. Yeah.
I still remember the combination. 3. You're right. A lot of the jokes are really dumb.
Yeah.
But really satisfying anyway. I'll have a horse Coke. Would a horse Pepsi be
Yeah.
okay?
Nay.
It's just really
Where he's like,
such a lowbrow joke, and I love it.
Yeah, he's like, here's another dated reference. He's complaining about Mayor Giuliani, and it's like
Yes,
trying
yeah.
to cut down on jaywalking. Take this, and then a lizard runs him over. It's like,
Giuliani's
okay.
still kind of in the news these days because he's a Trump backer.
Yeah,
He is
he's also
yeah.
Still a Trump backer. Good on him.
Oh yeah.
He's an idiot though. But.
He's hanging in there.
I did note some like nice animation flourishes. So the episode begins with a flashback. Yancey steals
the spaceship.
steals the spaceship off Fry's mobile and throws it out the window, and as it flies through the air, it transitions
Yeah,
into
it was
the
a beautiful transition.
Beautiful
Yeah, it's a
cutaway.
really
It's like
great transition.
Yancey's statue into the flashback of Yancey putting on the horrible suit.
Yeah.
the camo
suit.
tuxedo. Got me through Nam in style.
Or like we have like the seven leaf clover coming into the table group, sitting around the
It
office.
turns into the conference table.
Conference
Yeah.
table.
I want to go back to Anthology of Interest and see if that crops up, because whether that's Loudon being like, I gotta have me some nice transitions.
He's not how he speaks.
He's not Texan.
I feel like
Listen to me, I just gotta tell you how it is.
I feel like they just do it for this one because it's nicer to transition from story to story, and they have ways of doing that.
This is their first
It's a more personal episode as well.
consistently time jumping episode, isn't it? Like they do it a
Yeah,
few times with
probably.
Michelle, but it's not a almost two stories sort of deal. I think this is the first time.
this
there.
one kind of threads the flashbacks through, and there's a second underlying plot that is revealed slowly through the flashbacks, and they integrate it in interesting ways. So like whenever he gets knocked out, he gets run over by the lizard, as you were saying earlier, and that produces a flashback.
Yeah.
And the flashbacks are generally created by something contextually in the present.
Yes.
Which is a nice way of kind of threading them through, and is consistent storytelling, because they're good storytellers, and the more they lean into that, the better the episode, I think.
I'm really happy that they kept the mutants there. You're in old New York. There are mutants around.
His neighbor.
Alan Golding or Goldsmith or something.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like, I mutated from him.
He's only nice when he says.
That was a weird joke. I was like, in a word, I'm still teaching. Well, that's a weird sequence, sure. I mean, sure, but
I think it's just a sort of joke on what people get up to. It's like they're always just teaching. It's like the fallback for everybody is what they is teaching.
Got good gags when you're down there, like Bender becoming like a train, basically. like a
Yes, the
subway train.
Bender has a loudspeaker inside
Bender
him.
function of the week.
Yes, he opens himself, gets out his own microphone receiver.
Yeah.
Bing bong. and makes announcement noises.
And picks up a homeless
Picks
man.
up a hobo.
I don't think some mutant who just
Just
a
a
guy
hobo.
living down there.
End of the line.
End of the line. Ding, ding.
I love it. Even the writers were looking at it, and because in the very next shot when they pull out, the mutant's just not there, and so the homeless guy's not there. It's like, where did he go?
I'm assuming maybe just on this, and Bender's opened up, and you go. Just steals him.
Well, Fry can fit in Bender. So
Yes.
True.
I really like the use of Scruffy in this episode. I didn't even tell Scruffy. And he just goes,
I'm watching you.
yeah, like, he doesn't say anything. He just stalks out of the room.
it's the most horrific look, like a murderous Scruffy. It's like, he has a past.
Yes, he's seen things.
Was that when they're sitting on the table and like Bender's counting all his money?
Yes.
Yeah. What does he do with that money? He doesn't do anything. He just like he goes to help the
Bender's
gang.
rich is another thing. That,
Just another
Yeah.
gag of him being rich.
It's going to go into another one of his shady side businesses that you never hear about.
because he's got gold. He gets all the money off the...
he's just so rich.
Yeah, he's so rich.
I
He
gotta
does
say,
not
like-
need to work there
Yeah.
at all.
No.
No, he just
And I think in
lonely.
the next episode, 2 episodes now, Bendless Love, he goes back to work in the factory.
yeah.
Well, because in the next episode, he's a penguin. So unless you count that as a job.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets paid much.
Professional
to be-
penguin.
No, like his plan to make money was
I think it's
I
just
gotta
the
say-
joy of having money, right?
Yeah, but like his plan to get it was really stupid. Like logically it would make more sense to give steroids to a good horse and then that one would obviously look like it's just a bit better.
It's such an obvious plan, right?
Not like like sedate the like,
8 out of 9
like, 8 out of 9 horses. So none of them are running.
So basically, like in the back, they're going, okay, this horse won. Who are all the people that benefited from this horse winning? Let's track them down.
Yeah.
Let's ask them things.
Do I do like that his winning ticket has its own fireworks? Did you
Nice
notice
little
that?
future thing.
Yeah, it's a great little future touch.
But doesn't he has like a really great ticket, and Fry just had this piece of paper, this little piece of shitty paper.
Yeah.
Spend $1 on a ticket, you get the shitty one.
That's true, yeah.
You'd
He would have spent all his money, but that money would have been like $5. Like,
I'm sure someone has probably worked out, like, for Bender to get those earnings, which was what, $2,500 or 25 grand or whatever it is, how much would he have had to spend? What are the odds? I'm sure someone has worked that out.
I don't know if you know the odds on the individual horses though.
No,
so,
and I don't-
Maybe it's in like a little thing in
In
the
the
background.
background.
I was still
Yeah.
pretty surprised. I was like $2,500.
Probably nothing.
Not that much. like what's the rate in the future? Like, is $2,500 a lot of
I mean,
money?
it looks like a lot of money on the desk, right?
Yeah, on the desk. But like, you could probably go to like, I don't know, a country where it's still using like American currency, but it's like a third world country, and have like a room full of money, and it'd be worth.
Well, because how much
Yeah.
did Fry accumulate? It was $4 billion, I think,
Yeah.
was the amount.
Yeah,
And he almost had an aneurysm
I
seeing
would
that
too.
money.
Yeah, sure.
So I
Especially
feel-
today, in 1,000 years' time, they seem to think that it's a lot of money. Even
Yeah.
then. I think what they do is they go, "Fuck inflation,"
Yeah.
because it makes it easier for the audience to understand how much a lot of money.
Hey, I think
is.
Bender's happy with $2,500.
The reality,
It's
the
cool.
economy's crashed 10 times.
Yeah, true.
As we know, Bender doesn't really need the money. He doesn't have to buy a lot of stuff.
It's the sport of the thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
He just loves scamming
Yeah,
things.
scamming, stealing, and then counting the money, and then repeating the cycle.
The only thing Bender needs is beer, no?
And cigars.
And cigars.
Does he need them to
I don't think he needs
No,
Or
cigars.
is it-
No,
that's
no.
his vice, isn't
That's
it?
his vice.
But
He
alcohol
needs-
is like,
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
have alcohol. See, that's another thing I was wondering is, because robots need alcohol to function, well, Mum must probably own the alcohol business as well.
Yeah,
Because
she probably brews her own robot beer.
yeah. And then,
And probably cigars as well.
bless you.
Oh, I hope you
You
got
know
that.
what?
And probably fine robot woman.
She's built all her robots to need beer. She runs the beer industry, doubles her profit.
She's a smart woman, his mum.
What a mother.
Beep, beep.
Speaking of mothers, I really like Fry's mum. I think she's a really fun character.
Mum.
Yeah, his mum.
Oh, his mum.
Who's a complete sports nut. She's absolutely crazy for sports.
Yeah.
Like, she remembers the day Fry went missing because a certain Wisconsin won the Rose Bowl.
The Rose Bowl, yeah.
And she's more excited that the Mets won a game with a foul pitch than her son is born. She's like, yeah, okay, whatever. One morphine, please.
One morphine.
Yeah.
Side note, morphine's amazing.
Okay.
Just a side note.
I feel like you've mentioned that before in a podcast.
Yeah, like I had. So, side note for the listeners, I had a twisted testicle once. Twisted from the inside.
I think you told me about that.
Yes.
That's messed up.
And why does it happen? It just happens.
I wish the audience could see my face right now because I am imagining that it's not. I don't.
Imagine nuts.
Yeah.
Imagine nuts.
Imagine
Our new show
nuts.
is the Imagine Nuts.
It starts with feeling like you need to go to the toilet, and within half an hour progresses to kill me please.
There's like a house episode, right, where someone has like this chronic pain and they don't, like, no one believes them, and they're like, oh, it's like inside me, this pain, and it turns out that they have the sensation of like having been kicked in the nuts, but like permanently.
Oh. Well, I had this, and then I get sent to the hospital, as you do. I couldn't take the spray morphine because I just couldn't. I didn't enjoy it.
Does it make you
despite that,
nauseous? Like, it makes you really sick.
It was the taste or the smell or something. I just could not do it. I
What do
couldn't
they
get
do?
the
Do
full
they,
dose.
do they have to cut you open, or do they just play around with them?
Okay. Well, I'll get onto that.
Yeah, please.
'cause this is the riveting story
This
about
is more important than Futurama.
about horrible
It's the
pain.
story
So-
of the rotated nut.
They injected the morphine into my vein, and within 10 seconds, euphoric bliss. 10 seconds from the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life.
Listeners, don't do drugs.
Don't do it, but like, I understand why people
Yeah.
do it.
I'm pretty sure it's well known that morphine makes you feel
yeah.
fucking great.
Yeah.
It's
So-
not a secret. Oh my god, did you hear? Shut up and take my podcast. Morphine apparently is great.
Vicodin's morphine, technically, isn't it?
I don't know
Which is
about
what
that.
House
is
I think,
addicted to Vicodin.
House addicted to Vicodin. So,
It might be an opiate, yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's an opiate, yeah.
in answer to your question, James, they had to do surgery on my boys.
They cut you open.
And they had to untwist it from the inside. So if they're manually untwisted, before they put me under, because thank God I went under, I said, what are the ramifications that can come from this? Like, what's the worst case scenario? You could lose it. Lose my testy.
Both of them?
Just the one.
You got two.
That's not too bad.
Or at least I
We
assumed
tried
it was
to
the
untwist the wrong one, ended up removing them both.
Oh my god.
one. I asked them that a couple of seconds before I went under. So I had no choice
You know which
anyway.
one it is?
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, I'm not going to lose my nuts, are they? Yeah, you are.
You didn't. Do you know when they do like leg amputations or whatever, they get the person to write like "not this leg."
Oh, that would be a thing, wouldn't it?
You're like write "not this nut" or like a big X on the wrong
Yeah.
nut, so they make sure they do the right one.
So they think they're untwisting my testicle, but they're actually just twisting my other one. So now I
no.
wake up with two twisted ones.
Imagine if you, like, they cut off the wrong leg and then they had to cut off your other leg.
I think that shit happens occasionally.
Yeah.
That's probably why that whole not this leg thing occurs.
Yeah.
But basically, my whole point of that story is one morphine is enough,
Okay,
and it's
alright.
awesome.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Is that like
yeah.
a big scar?
No, they would dissolve it. I was like,
He did.
No.
He just for
okay,
the listeners
yeah,
at home,
yeah.
we all saw.
no, I grabbed it, and no. I think I'd
No-
noticed
no
by now.
scar?
I don't think so. I don't really check down there that often to
Oh.
inspect for scars.
Tamika's like, no, listen, what's this big scar? And she's
Just
like,
extra stuff.
well, I twisted my nuts.
It didn't affect the little Shawns, did it?
Not so far.
Okay. I mean, you haven't had any kids, so we
Yeah,
don't
so
know
we'd
yet.
know.
That I know of. So,
Yeah.
so let's say, I mean, maybe it has.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're still with us,
The parents who are kind of you carry on.
I love the parents in this because, like, the look of parenting of kind of off the time and off the 80s as well, where it's like there's very disconnect where it's like, I'm going to live my life. Kids, you don't really matter.
We're supposed to have them, but do we do anything with them?
Yeah,
Not really.
yeah.
so I'm still gonna have my existence. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, the dad's more obsessed with the commies.
Yeah, and fighting
right?
the Cold War and
Yeah.
all that, which is
and
hilarious.
NAM and stuff. Yeah, he believes that with the radiation's going to turn us all into monkeys.
Yes,
And I
we
think
don't
there's
need
a
these bananas.
I think there's a joke about bananas being radioactive, like hidden in there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Otherwise, like in reality, a few days later, it's like, why are the bananas all black?
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah, I think he thinks the commie attack's happening any day.
Immediately.
Yeah. Constantly buying new crates of bananas.
We've got to add to the banana budget.
I feel like that's why their house has just fallen to shit because, like, they're spending the money on bananas.
I don't think either of them care about the present, right?
No, it doesn't matter.
To be fair, that house is exactly the same 1,000 years later.
It's well built.
preserved to a T.
To a
Like-
T, yeah.
Like nothing's like that Ronco record vault's still there.
Yeah.
Whenever things need to be there from the past, they just are. But they just gloss over it. It's like, old New York's exactly how it was. The Chrysler Building's fallen down, but Fry's house exactly
Yeah.
how it was.
And then we get that Philip J. Fry statue. This humongous of a this
Cadillac of men.
this Cadillac of men.
Yeah. This Adonis.
This
Adonis,
Adonis. Yes, I love
The
it.
Cadillac of men is a great phrase.
I want to
love it.
start using
I love that,
that.
like, it's the
Yes.
Cadillac of automobiles. That, I meant, like, do you remember that? That used to be the standard, like, saying
Cadillac.
it was the Cadillac
of things,
something.
yeah.
I'm going to bring it
everyone
back.
knows
I'm
now
start
that
saying it.
Cadillac of
American
men.
cars are really awful.
Yeah, what would you say? It's the Mercedes
Bentley?
Benz, the Bentley.
The Bentley.
It's the Bentley of.
We had a
automobiles.
Mercedes parked out our house yesterday in our spot. And
Oh,
all of
really?
us were asking each other, is that yours? I'm like, no. Whose is it? Who's just parked a Mercedes in our driveway?
It's like they're like, I can park wherever I want.
That's what I was saying. This is my house now. Thank you very much. Where's your deed? I'll sign it.
I'm offering you $2 million. Oh, we don't own
So
the
we
house.
don't own
but-
the. Okay, I mean,
okay.
just take the money and run.
Quantum finish tickles me.
Quantum finish.
Quantum
Quantum
finish.
yeah.
And Farnsworth gets really annoyed because you changed the outcome by observing it. Little quantum joke.
Farnsworth holds my favorite line. Dirt doesn't need luck.
He's so pleased
So
by that
happily.
assertion.
Everything's getting
Factually
lucky.
true.
Yeah, dirt doesn't need luck. It's already pretty lucky. You know?
My favorite line is someone's in a good mode.
Yeah,
Oh,
that is
yeah.
a great one.
It's a really nice one line.
Every time you get things like axe or something that's kind of specific to robots but not humans, it just tickles me.
Yeah, or it's like, my baby needs a new pair of shoes. To hell with your baby. I need those shoes.
It's one
To
line.
hell with your spoiled baby.
Yes.
Spoiled baby.
Yes.
He does wear shoes, doesn't he? He wears like crappy sandals, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that mean at this point his son's a baby?
Well, his son.
I think Zoidberg is misunderstanding the colloquial use of the word baby.
Baby.
No, but like his son would be a baby at this point, wouldn't he?
Well, Hermes' son is the same age as Cubert.
So he would be grown up by now. Not grown up. He would be
And
a
Cubert's
boy.
what? Like 10, 14?
10 or
10?
For something in my mind, for some reason was like, does Cubert age?
Or is Cubert just...
He's rapidly aged up to that point. I think they say
Okay,
that.
it's rapid, but he continues to
I think he
age.
continues to age.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
We have a
Yes,
reboot.
because he doesn't. He goes into his like kind of teen rebellion years.
Yeah, that's the whole
he-
thing.
yeah,
It's like,
like,
we're going to
screw
be
you.
better than our parents.
Yeah, we're gonna have our own express
Ah.
delivery.
It's red. Makes it go faster.
That is true. That's a well-known fact.
We get Bender's full name.
Yes, Bending
Adding
with Rodriguez
to the Mexican
The
lore
Mexican,
of-
the Mexican theme. Bender, he does a really nice R roll.
Rodriguez.
I can't do that. I wish I could.
Rolling R's. When I discovered I could do
Hold
that,
on.
it's my favorite thing to do in the world.
Don't
Bar
know.
nothing.
Oh, mine is Rodriguez.
Let's just taunt James.
Rodriguez.
Don't learn Spanish because if you can't roll your R's, you can't read.
No, that is the biggest fuck you because I tried to learn Spanish. I was like, it was my first year of uni, and I'm like, look, I'm bored. I want to learn another language. I got Spanish for Dummies, and I tried, but I can't roll R's. I can't I can't say
do the Spanish accent.
Yeah, I can't say words that way. So I was like, I fucking suck at
Can
this.
you remember any Spanish?
Is it ¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás?
Yeah, I can't say it. And then, like, literally, I would be because I would drive hour trips to uni and an hour back. I'd be listening to it and trying to say back, but I suck.
I wish you could speak fluent Spanish. That would be
if I could,
incredible.
I wouldn't even talk English.
You speak fluent Spanish, but just in an awful, awful accent.
Yeah, I don't think it would be in Spanish because I couldn't pronounce the words correctly. So,
¿Cómo estás, mate?
¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás?
Shut up, friends.
Yeah. Shut up, friends. My computer has heard me say this thing.
Philip J. Fry spends most of his time in his grave.
Yes, that's such a sweet scene though when they do go to the grave, and for some reason the military guard don't care that they're carrying a shovel to dig up.
No.
Dig up his grave. There's no one's
but
there.
when like kind of Fry realizes that it was named after him, like that's like I was like,
Yeah.
I'm feeling it. I'm
This
feeling
is-
it in my
He does,
heart.
and that's the bit I get the tingles on. Is
Yeah.
that moment there when he's like, he's on his knees and he's looking, and he realizes that actually it's a tribute to him, and
Yeah.
everyone really missed him.
Yeah.
I think it's really lovely.
I hate Futurama sometimes. It's like
Yeah.
they go there. They go there.
I'm here for
a scene-
comedy.
there's a scene later where he goes to, he's in like a memory of his mum. He goes into like his own memory and he gets to say like one last thing to his mum. Like he gets to like have a last conversation with her.
Oh, I'm not looking
And it's
forward to that.
Oh,
Oh,
it hits
no.
it hits you so hard in the feels, man. You just... my feels went everywhere when I watched that. All over the floor. I had to
Too
get
many
a mop.
feels. Too many
Yeah,
feels.
too many feels. This kind of gives you a little nudge in the feels, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, it's just like a moment or two in that last little 5-minute section in which they're gonna just they poke you with
They're warming you up for dog death.
dog death,
Yes, yeah.
and
Whenever you go into
Oh.
Fry's past, it gets really touchy-feely, right?
yeah, it's
a sad
that
time.
overarching storyline that they've like, oh, we dipped our toes in it. We can go to this well
Yeah.
again and again,
Yeah.
and we'll fucking make you
Right,
cry.
Yeah, because it works,
Yeah,
right?
but it's
And
like,
they're like, yeah,
it's
let's
like he's
keep
just a
going.
loser. No, he's not. Being a loser is kind of sad, you know.
Yeah, it's what they got wrong. Wrong's a strong word, but what they didn't as accurately portray with Michelle. Technically, the first time they dip into his past, but there's just not
Yeah.
that kind of. You can't get
There's
that.
no attachment.
No.
I guess Fry's situation is kind of ripe for that. He's fish out of water, and that's where the comedy comes from. But leaving things behind and reinventing yourself, and how his family move on with him just disappearing. Those are all really ripe for proper emotional delving, and they eventually get there. They're like, yeah, we've earned it now. Let's go in there and pull out a bit of Fry's guts.
And ours.
Something else that I felt the same way when I used to watch it as a kid. When Fry locks away the Clover.
The Clover?
And I'm like, keep it! You need it! Like, your life could have been great. You could have had a fantastic life. But as soon as you put it away, Your life fell apart. You was working at a pizza place. Everyone
Yeah.
hated him. He was a big loser. And then
Doesn't he need it for the breakdancing competition that's coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you putting this away? He just puts it away and never goes back.
Yeah, they would have had to have had that breakdancing competition as well. I wonder
Without-
how they
Yeah.
went.
He put it away. And
They lost.
Oh, okay.
yeah, like it's what like
Yeah, he put it away before the competition. What an
Yeah.
idiot!
it's what like another 10 years before he gets pushed into the future.
yeah, what an
he
idiot.
He just gives up on it and just forgets about it.
That
And
could
it
have been
works.
Like,
Provably
yeah,
works.
like that works. And he's like, okay, I just won't use it, and
So,
I'll have a miserable
I
life.
think it's like he, more than anything, he doesn't want his brother to have it.
Yeah.
That's his
you know what I'd be
motivation.
doing? I'd be getting like tape, and I'd be taping it to my arm.
Yeah.
or insert it under your skin.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay,
Or,
I
like
posit you
snorting it
this.
up my nose or something.
A Philip J. Fry that has the 7-leaf clover and is infected by the worms.
In the future, he would.
I think president of the universe.
yeah, he would
like-
be such a Mary Sue, wouldn't he?
Yeah, they're just unstoppable.
And he would
Everything,
just be
like,
obnoxious.
completely lucky, but also like
the worst
smart as
person.
well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Leela will be loving it. Leela will be
Yeah,
all
she
over
would
that.
Can we do
adore
like an
him.
alternate timeline where it's like he became smart but also lucky and then became like a tyrant?
But everyone loves him.
Everyone loves him, but he's also
Because they have to.
because they
Yeah.
have to love him. Yeah, he becomes in like an alternate timeline where he becomes the tentacle creature.
Oh, yeah.
Like
The beast with a billion
like
backs.
Beast with a billion backs.
the worms turns him his whole physiology, like his whole biology, into like a worm like being.
He's a worm.
And he's super lucky and super intelligent.
I hate you because I just keep getting the image of what you talked about last week, which was him just bursting and the
Yeah.
worms coming out everywhere.
It's like a horror movie where he's like, it's like Fry. Fry's like just
Alan.
worms everywhere. He's like he's a husk.
As a whole, I'm really happy with this episode.
Yeah. I
There's
think
It's
not
pretty
yeah.
perfect
Yeah.
for a Futurama episode.
couple of dated references, which is a thing we run into a couple of times
Yes.
in the series.
I think like you watch any show that tries to be current and reference pop culture, eventually it's gonna die.
yeah,
out.
I mean, some of
quickly-
the music references are pretty timely, timeless, which
Yeah.
I really like. The Breakfast Club
Yeah.
and
What was the other one? Like sports with Huey
Lewis is the only thing that hasn't aged well. Wasn't perfectly preserved. And they talk about, they're like, oh, it had all the best hits from the 80s, and they list all these things. It's a compilation CD. It's fun.
I'm really horrible with music. Like, my knowledge of music is... I don't have knowledge of music. So
I know Huey Lewis in the news from American Psycho.
I didn't even know it from that. Like,
really?
Who is this guy? Is he just a sportscaster?
I've heard
And he's done a spoken
This
word
is
album.
like have you not seen American Psycho where he's
I have, but-
he's talking to Jared Leto about, I'm pretty sure it's Huey Lewis, and then like
think so,
he
yeah.
axes him in the head.
As a side note, I watched with Chris Psycho, followed by American Psycho as our Christmas Eve viewing.
Wow.
Yes.
I hadn't seen either of those films
Wow,
before.
that's so Christmassy.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It was all red.
It's true.
Actually, well, half black and white.
and white.
Unless you watched the remake in the 90s, which is pretty bad.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
No, that's a
That's this Christmas.
I want to colorize Psycho, but I'm colorblind.
Before we get to the voting, let's go for a little voice. Anyone in the Fry family?
I'm gonna fight those damn commies.
What's the bananas line?
They're just going to be, banana.
It's like, well, we're gonna need these bananas when we all turn into apes. Like something
It's hard to do without the Australian accent, isn't
yeah,
it?
the Australian accent like kind of stops it.
Now, Yancey.
Now, yes.
This is how we gotta inch towards it one by one.
That camo tux got me through Nam in style.
Name and
Yeah,
style.
it's getting close. Yeah.
Now, Nancy. No, you're called Nancy after my father and his father, all the way down to Minuteman Yancey, who
fought commies in the American Revolution.
I find it helps to talk out the side of your mouth.
which I do anyway. So that's a drawback of being deaf in my right ear is that I just talk slightly like I've got.
Howdy, y'all.
Yeah.
Until I can find a replica of an ICBM, you'll have to learn to hate the commies through this spaceship instead.
What is an ICBM?
An intercontinental ballistic missile.
I figured it was weapon based. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. It's a nuke that you can fire across the world.
Well, that's not good for a baby.
No. Babies learn to fear them. It is good. Fear the ICBMs.
No, you have to love them.
Yes.
Yeah, love them. Love
It's
them.
what North Korea are trying to develop.
Look,
Oh, that's fine then.
look. You got to stop worrying and learn to love the bomb.
Yes.
Love the bomb.
That's
correct.
Oh god, that is a slogan that is going to
Love
come up.
the bomb.
Love the bomb. I really want to see the scene of how the Fry parents met. How did that relationship develop?
They're kind of perfect for each
Oh,
other.
they are, aren't
Yeah.
they? They kind of do their own thing. Do they interact
very
with each
independent.
other at all besides...
Sure, they knew each other at high school. It's one of
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
relationships.
It's the only conversation they have deciding who's going to name the baby, but she doesn't because she chose dinner last night.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's so not interested. They're both there when Yancey's in his tux preparing for his wedding.
Yeah.
But I don't know if
Yeah.
they talk to each other that much.
No.
But like the idea of them going to their kid's wedding, I think would be important to them. Even though they, at the same time, don't care. It's a wedding.
Yes.
Where it's like
They
there's
do all
that-
the things they're supposed to do as
yeah,
an
yeah.
American
Where it's
family.
like, we're following that Americana type of role.
Put them into a sitcom. Have the Fry family as a show.
We do not need
The
that
Family
sitcom.
Fry.
Family Fry. Fry
I'd watch
again.
that. Yeah, okay. Well, I'd watch that sitcom where it's like someone's completely like afraid of the commies. It's the commies
Playing on that fear, I think we should head towards a Voticus.
Okay, what was our last winner?
Parasites Lost is
Parasites
still
Lost.
currently
Beat
heading.
out.
Tale of Two Santas.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
Parasites Lost is better.
I'm happy to go first. I really just have a soft spot for like the Fryrish. It's one of the episodes I remember the most. Not for nothing, I have an affinity towards it because of the brother relationship and the
Yes,
fact that I grew up with two brothers. It's kind of a very accurate representation of. I know it's got that 80s mentality, but there's a lot of the bleeding into the 90s. So I love visiting the 20th century.
Parachute pants and
Parachute
It's still the
pants
whole
and-
idea that like brothers copying each other and that frustration. This is my thing, you know. Let me
Yeah.
be me, and like
and it's subverted as well. It's interesting because it's the older brother
Yeah,
copying the
yeah,
younger brother.
Yeah. And it's so petty, but it's so
so obvious, like the space, deep space.
yeah,
outer
what
space.
deep
What?
space.
The robot, that's sort of like mine. The jokes aren't flying left, right, and center, but that's fine by me.
There's a great amount of them though. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's a fantastically funny episode.
You know what I love the most is just how they balance multiple timelines.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me, it's done so.
The integration of the flashbacks and stuff.
Yeah, it's seamless. It really is seamless. And
Yeah.
you're never in doubt as to where the story's going and how they tie into one another. It's structured phenomenally.
For me, it wins for similar reasons. It's based on its storytelling. They're both Fry episodes. It's fun to compare them. It's a good way to look at them. They're both kind of insights into Fry's world.
And how he gets bettered.
Yeah. I mean, I think the stuff in the other one that we really like that's character-based is the Leela Fry stuff, and that is really, really good. But I like the delving into Fry's past, and like you said, the brother stuff really resonates. It's really true.
Yeah.
It comes from a really honest place. And they don't sacrifice too much of the humor. I think it's very close. I like both episodes a lot. I think this season is freaking phenomenal.
Oh, you wait.
It's such a good season.
I think it's going to be episode to episode. It's winner.
I mean, I really, I think it's hard. I think they're very close to each other, Parasites Lost in this episode, but I think it does edge it out this episode. I think it's, for its storytelling chops, is really, really clever and well done. Yeah, so it wins for me as well.
And I think it should be mentioned that Ron Weiner wins the Annie Award for Best Writing, for Outstanding Writing for this episode.
Yeah, for sure. It's a really well-written episode.
Yeah, I mean, as much as Parasites Lost, like, is an enjoyable episode, it had just a bit of potential to go a bit better.
And they had to leave a lot on the cutting room floor.
Yeah,
as well.
whereas this one, like, its overall structure from like telling past to present, and even like from family dynamic, from the brothers to overall family, from like basically like the mother parent not really caring. So even like Yancey and Fry basically don't get along at all. Every flashback they're playing with each other. That's
They're
all
friends.
they have.
They're
Yeah,
friends, they're family,
That's
they're
all they
everything
have.
rolled into one.
Because they're not
Yeah.
they're not gonna get anything from their parents. You know, they're so close, but at the same time, it's that frustration.
So antagonistic.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very true.
But yeah, it's like that kind of family dynamic kind of, I guess, rings home.
And just in those flashbacks, you get a really clear picture of what the family's like. And it's very efficiently done.
But it's like you also get like great jokes. There's like really silly humor all the way through, but it's fantastically silly.
And great, non sequitur, like the dirt doesn't need luck. It's
Yeah,
great.
it's
It's
just
so
a
funny.
silly
It's a really
lines.
economical episode, isn't it? Everything's there for a purpose,
Yeah.
and the only person I think that doesn't really get much to do, and she's usually kind of a... Yeah, Amy.
And Zoidberg doesn't do anything.
He gets
either.
he gets a one line.
He gets that one line. I can't remember anything from Amy besides being in that luxury box.
She gets paired up with they try to pair her up with a jockey.
with a jockey.
jockey.
That's
Yeah.
being
Have you
put
ever
out to
done it in a
stud.
suitcase?
He's being put out to stud.
Yes.
The jockey.
Yeah, the jockey's being put out to stud, yeah.
Like silly jokes like that. Like
Is that the first time we see her parents?
No,
No.
they come up. They first popped up in A Flight to Remember,
Right,
on
of
board the
course.
Titanic.
Yes, yeah. I guess they're just saying, like, why isn't Amy with the rest of them? She's in the box. Here.
Yes.
Maybe there were more jokes there.
And
I
we're
don't know.
following that extra joke we get from Amy and her parents, which is, why haven't you given us a grandchild yet? Where's your partner? We're going to set you up. Here's a lovely person.
Yeah, it's an ongoing
I'm sure
thing,
maybe
yeah.
her episode was having to go date the guy.
Date the jockey.
Date the jockey.
Kif would not be happy with that.
No, but like she's got to do it to keep the parents happy, to keep the income coming in. Yeah. She's got to do it.
Oh, because they're not.
They will cut her off.
They're so vindictive.
yeah.
She's like still wearing her. They're like really dressed up for the races, and she's just wearing her sweatpants. Same thing she always wears.
That little pink jumpsuit type
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Wiener wins. Wiener wins.
Wiener, chicken dinner.
Yes. We do it.
Next week we have
The Bird Bot of Icecatraz.
right.
You wonder why I was not remembering
Yes,
this.
yeah.
The Bird Bot of Icecatraz is next week, so we gave a bit of foreshadowing. There are penguins.
Yes, the penguin episode. Yes.
We've got to save these penguins.
It's another
my
one of the
impression
I forget the family.
Rainbow.
We told this lion to eat
Tofu man.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's his
Waterfall.
dad. The Waterfall family. His
family.
dad.
Yeah.
Is the one that comes in for this episode.
Doesn't he get eaten? That's very good.
Yes, he does.
As we say, the thing is they introduce the family members and then they die in the episode.
Yeah, die in the episode that they're the focus
Yeah,
of.
take
There's a
that,
lot
hippie.
of them. So, guys, if you want to keep in contact with us, babybeardmedia@gmail.com is probably the most straightforward way to get in contact with us.
Just hit us up on Twitter. Why not? Instagram, whatever you want.
Facebook, by the way, it's on there, and YouTube.
And the best way you can help us is to jump onto that iTunes and giving us a 5-star rating and review. Best way to help us out. We will love you and we will do nothing else besides that.
Cherish you.
We will wish that you never have a twisted testicle.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good wish,
May
actually.
twisted
Yeah.
testicles never befall you, our 5-rated friends.
What a great way to sign off.
Until then, I have been Sean.
I've been Phil.
And I've been James.
No twisted testicles for
No.
anyone.
And I've been Twisted Testicle.
Maybe that should be our name.
Twisted Testicles?
Twisted Testicle presents.
Maybe there was two of us. One's the penis. Who's the penis?
Phil can be the Philip's head.
I'm
Phil
the
head.
cock.
Philip's head?
Philip's head.
Philip's head.
Which of us is the twisted one? Or are they both twisted?
You.
We're twisted around each other.
Oh, God. Yancey, as he gets older, he starts getting the receding hairline. I feel you, man.
Yeah.
I understand.
We're all there.
We're all there. Got the producers in the studio.
Oh, those fat cats.
Seeing a whale die of old age is just a weird concept.
A whale.
Yeah, like a whale getting arthritis and dementia or something, and just floating around, and it just dies of old age.
Just like singing nonsense. What's
like
that
you-
whale's talking
yeah,
about?
Yeah, it's just like, and all the other whales are like, what? I don't understand you. You're old. We've got to put him in a home.
You're actually recording, you are. I was going to say they found a whale a couple of years back that had a harpoon in its side from the 1800s.
Oh my god.
Still alive.
What?